The Black Writers Workspace and Direct 2 author welcome you to the 2024 Chapter 1 Writing Competition Meet the Winners interview series. We hope you will enjoy learning from these dynamic writers and continue to support them throughout their writing and publishing journey. During this series, you will meet the fiction, nonfiction, and poetry categories' second place, third place, and honorable mention winners. You will also hear from Ardane Isma, CEO of Village Care Publishing, as he announces the 4 Chapter 1 writers selected to submit a full manuscript in consideration for a traditionally published opportunity with Village Care. The interview series is hosted by author and founder of the Black Writers Workspace, Michelle D. Jackson. For information on the next competition, please follow us at Black Writers Workspace on Facebook and Instagram.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Good. I'm so happy to see you, although I've seen you before because you have killed this category every year. You guys are doing some amazing work. You are putting the type of poetry out there that is just making our review team, and we have a different review team. Sometimes we have some of the same people. For the most part, it's a different review team, but they seem to love your work every year. So let's start with you, Bianca. Talk to us about your submission and tell us what inspired the work. You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I called my submission Journey to Queendom. And for me, the hardest part about writing poetry is easy. The hardest part is giving it a name. So I struggled with that. And what inspires me is just everyday life, working your way through this life as a Black woman, a woman that's aging in a country that doesn't really respect age, and just, everyday experiences.
Take me on this journey. Tell me about this journey to Queendom. What is it? Tell me the moment you knew you had to write this set of poems. What was happening in your world?
Well, I've been going through a lot of changes. So when I did it last year, I was writing about the hardships, because we've all dated that guy that was Jekyll and Hyde, started out nice and turned into a monster. So I went through that. Then I went through a period of trying to trust again and trust these men. And then it ended with me getting married. So I wrote about all those struggles. So it's difficult from doubting yourself. I was also, as a child, a victim of molestation. So that also affects your confidence levels. So I had to work through all of that to become, which I hope is, a queen. I'm still working on it. Still have my doubts at times, but working to Queendom, to fulfill my purpose here, reach out to other women and build them up. And, a lot of people, when you read, they go, oh, well, I had that same experience, or I feel the same way, but I didn't know how to express it. So I like reaching out and helping other women. And it's my way of self-healing.
I think poetry is such a healing, it allows us to put so much of ourselves on the paper. And I love writing poetry. I don't put it out much because I don't think it's that great, but I like to write it because it allows me to exercise some of the things that are in me in a way, and to connect with myself in a very unique way. And so I love poetry, and I love that this category is one that seems to is continuously growing. And it is one where we're seeing so much self-empowerment. That's kind of the theme that I often see. And one of your reviewers said, I was able to feel her journey through the poetry. That's what you want them to do. You want them to have an emotional feeling when they read your work. So that is so excellent. So Tunisia, you and I, I've interviewed you. You have been a part of so many things that we've done. Talk to us about your work, because you once again scored very high in this category, and you had a whole new group of poems called Used to Be Simple. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, so my working title of this group was Complicated Women Used to Be Simple Girls. Um, and I was just on this reflection and looking at some of the relationships, particularly with the women that I have in my life, and just looking at the things that we used to enjoy as children, and how I feel like as we get older, as we mature, in one sense, a little bit more, we kind of stray away from those things. And I think those things are connecting us to a critical part of our being, and those are the things that we kind of got to tap into. Um, as Bianca said, like as we're journeying to queendom, just remembering that little girl, that little side of us, and honoring that as well.
Excellent. I love that. That is so true. Used to be simple. Wow. Yeah, I can definitely relate. So you always seem to have a great group of poems that really talk about, once again, empowerment. And what are you doing with the work in the community? How are you using your work in order to actually empower our young girls? And both of you can take the question. We'll start with you, Tanisha.
Yes, I'm definitely sharing it more. I talked about that last time that I'm kind of like, oh, super personal, but definitely getting it out there, sharing it on various platforms, and just trying to incorporate it into action steps. So I am in a doctorate program now, figuring out how we can utilize poetry as a form of healing, as a form of connectivity.
Okay.
Absolutely. And Bianca, are you doing anything in the community to share your words?
Yeah, I'm actually part of something called the Literary Lounge, where we actually bring all the authors in the area and give everybody a chance to showcase their books. I've also done open mics, and I've made it to a point where it's so comfortable. I've gotten young girls to go up and read their work. So there was a girl there, I'm friends with her mother. She's been writing poetry since she was a child. She never shared it. Her mother has never seen her work. We actually coaxed her to go up on stage and read her work, and it was very empowering. And she came up to me afterwards and asked me, how to keep going about this and how to publish. So I reach out to all these young girls because, school life for me was much easier than it is these days. The things these kids go through, the bullying that follows you home because it's on your phone, it's on your computer, they go through a lot. So I try to teach her, I was teaching a writing to heal class where you can get all that out of your system. And I tell them, write it, and it could be as hateful as you want it to be. Doesn't have to be proper grammar. Just get it out of your system. Because you can't always trust a girlfriend because tomorrow she might not be your friend, and then it's all over school. So I reach out by
Absolutely.
helping these girls cope.
That's the beauty of poetry, I think. I mean, we see Amanda Garman and so
Yeah.
many others are, being weaved into the political scene and doing their poetry, their poems on so many different stages, so many different venues. But what I want everyone to know is that we have some great poets, of course, that we've learned about, great Black poets that we've learned about our whole lives. But there are so many unsung heroes in this whole poetry world, people we don't hear about, but they are, like you said, pouring their emotions out on the page and inspiring communities. And they're going out to open mics and they're speaking up and they're using their voice in such a musical way in some ways. I mean, I think rap is poetry, but that's me. I
Mhm.
think that it's a genre that we need to tap more into. And I hope everyone knows that there are many Amanda Gormans out in the world. There are many of them, and let's go out and support them. Let's go out and support them. So this is so great. I asked the two of you if you were comfortable reading. You don't have to, but if one of you would like to read something, please do so. We want to give them a taste of why you place so highly in this competition.
Well, I have one called Through His Eyes, and I write about the aging process. So, but I'm also older, so I need glasses before I read it. And what I'm trying to work through is I tend to be very reserved. I want to be able to really read my work and act it out. I haven't quite gotten there yet, but that's my journey to queendom. So I'm still working on it.
Okay, we're going
So
to give
it's
you the full screen so you can read your work. Okay.
okay. So it's through his eyes. I wrote it for myself and some lines for my husband, but I'll read both parts. I tell my husband about a woman who's following me. She is fat, pasty, and the definition of obesity. She looks old, and I don't like her creeping. I catch glimpses as she's peeping. He tells me don't judge and be unkind. He thinks she's beautiful, and I think he's blind. Why is he defending this woman and knows what she's about? Why does he care, and why is he checking her out? I was told if you're fat and old, you're a disgrace. This old biddy needs to stay out of my face. She has no shape. She is a mess. She looks like a barrel wearing a dress. I point out the window. Look, it's her. My husband sighs, holds me tight, and says, baby, it's a mirror. You have a beautiful face and look good for any age. You have beautiful mahogany eyes with the wisdom of a sage. You're no longer a size 3 stick-shaped little girl. You're all woman and make men dizzy with your curves. You're more experienced and smarter now than then, and that's life. You're a grown woman and you're built to be mother and wife. You have a heart of gold and give to family and friends. And if they need your last dollar, you don't hesitate, just send. You care for your parents with love and respect. You are the daughter who does more than they expect. You allow me to be myself and add to my life. I think you are beautiful and chose you as my wife. You will stand by those you love until your death. And if all you had to give us was your last breath, you would give it willingly. You love and care for us diligently. Please stop hating and speaking ill of my wife. Stop building up walls and live your life. And baby, please stop telling yourself these lies. Take a moment and see yourself through my eyes. I look and my eyes are a pretty shade mahogany brown, and my body is fuller, not straight up and down. I still have to say, I'm a little bit round. My face looks older, but I'm still a snack. No real wrinkles because they say black don't crack. Women are judged on youth, looks, and body. More than knowledge, pretty makes you somebody. I turn to my husband with bright eyes and a smile and say something he won't hear for a long while. Baby, you're absolutely right. Aging isn't easy, but I'm still alive. My sisters, I treat myself badly and believe all my lies. Aging isn't easy, but I'm still alive. My sisters, when your self-judgment in the mirror reflects your lies, please take time to see your whole self in a loved one's eyes. And that's poem.
I absolutely love that.
Thank you.
Love it. That's so good.
Thank you. But like I said, we judge ourselves harshly. You see every little mark on your face. I mean, yes, I don't look like I did at 20, but I still look good and I'm feeling better about how I look now. But
That is clean up. I love
aging
that.
isn't easy. Thank you.
You got me in my tears over here because that is a beautiful poem. And it does speak volumes for those of us 50, 45 plus, and we're, comparing ourselves to the 20-year-old version of ourselves. And
Right.
that speaks volumes. I love that poem. Congratulations on winning.
Thank you. I think out of all that I sent you recently, that was my strongest piece.
Yes, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Tanisha, what do you got? You want to
Yes,
try?
I will definitely share.
Okay. Well, let's see. One of your I think I mentioned to you that what was said to us, same thing. I felt like the poem told a story of a journey. I could feel the pain, is what one of the reviewers said. The strength continued to write from the heart. She said, I could feel the pain and the strength. So that is a beautiful thing. So talk to us about this poem. What is the name of the poem you're going to read?
The name of the poem is Latchkey Kid.
Okay. All right. We're going to give you the screen too.
Thank you. Latchkey Kid, a meek mouse seeking crumbs of affection. I didn't know I was starving until my stomach bloated with empty promises. I love you only comes on the precipice of death, as if to love meant to bury. Perhaps those years of severed attachment meant she was giving me life, a Mary in her own right. I tired of hanging my arms out, a sort of crucifixion of my spirit, harassing her with my affections. It has been so bizarre raising us, confusing attempts and making sure I treat me right while being emotionally available for the emotionally unavailable. Finally admitting that motherhood is not for me and leaving her to her own devices. I learned that talking to concrete does elicit a response if you listen close enough. I was raised for this warp journey. My trauma responses are top tier. Did you know you can want to the point of severe independence? Did you know you can be hyper independent and codependent in tandem? Did you know that they lied when they said you can't miss what you've never had? I didn't. I continuously crave a man I have never known, all in the hopes that knowing him will help me to learn the mother I have known for 37 years.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, ladies. Beautiful. I love that. This is such a beautiful thing. I am so grateful to have the opportunity to be exposed to such great writers. And thank you for submitting for the Chapter 1 writing competition. As you know, everything we do with the Black Writers Workspace is all about family. And so you guys are family. And I want to continue to see you. Talk to us about your next steps, because when I say see you, I want to see that work and get that work on my shelf. So talk to us about your next steps. Bianca, start with you, and then we're going to wrap up and move on to our next category, which is our nonfiction category. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm working on filling out the rest of my journey to Queendom, so building some more poems to go with that. I'm also trying to build up an open mic again so I can practice. I have many projects. I did an ancestry thing and found out interesting things I'd like to write about. And right now, one of my top projects is to get to Jamaica to interview this lady that used to dance, was part of the beginning of the dance company there, and get the pictures and tell that story because, that's my culture. My mom used to be one of those dancers in Jamaica. And I'd like to tell that story and get there soon because this lady is 96 years old. So that's my top project, and then finishing Journey to Queendom.
Excellent. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tanisha, you want to talk about your next steps?
Yeah, so my next steps are I am kind of working on condensing, create a little chapbook. So figuring out which poems I want to include in that, looking at some of the works that I was working on last year and some of the pieces from this year and kind of narrow it down, and work on submitting to some additional competitions and support for that chapbook. So, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, ladies, for being with us. And again, congratulations. And stay with us so that you can be around when we have the Village Care announcement for those that will be advancing in their potential publishing deal opportunity. So thank you so much. We're going to move to fiction. I said nonfiction, but we're going to move to fiction so that we can learn about our second and third place winners of the fiction category with Lauren Schultz and Esther Okasi. So we're going to remove you guys from the screen and add them on. So definitely stay with us. Okay. Thank you.